Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to El Tel Cockerel. I hope you're all well. Um, yeah, it was just a catch up. Oh, that's better. It was just a catch up. Obviously, for people that know, I'm going away tomorrow and won't be back till Saturday. I'm going to go and look after my grandchildren and have some fun with them. Possibly a lot of it spent at Chester and World of Adventures. So, with that being said, I'm back on. I'm back on Saturday to do the watch along. And then after that, I'm not too sure how many shows because the following week the Premiership starts. So real football starts. We start, other teams start, and basically the show is just to catch up on some news that is around there today. Not necessarily just Tottenham related, everything news wise, and have a chat with you guys because you guys are the ones that make the show, and have a chat with you guys and get your thoughts on a few things, and then also as well try and gather some momentum to try and bring in a few more to the competitions that we're starting for the season because I won't be able to gather any more people in between now and Saturday. And then after Saturday, it's pretty difficult because it's quite difficult to keep going into this is what you need to do, this is what you can do, trying to help people out on how to enter these competitions and what needs to be done and what not. We've got a few people that I said hello to already. I think I've caught everybody. So Adrian came in, and I've already good afternoon, Adrian, and I hope you're well. The main man, the cobber himself, David Shear, saying hello, and I've already caught up with him by saying good evening, young man. Shemtam was around, said good afternoon, Jose. I hope you're doing well today. And Paul G is around as well, and I've said hello to these both already by sending a message. Um, and here we go. David Shear has already gifted out a membership, and it's gone to Drula. And I'm thinking to myself that David is very happy because he says that he's really glad. He's really glad that Drula got it. So, Drula, if you do get to see your membership, it's David Shear. Peter is around. Hello, Peter. How are you, mate? I hope you're well, Peter Kagayas, 9:35 a.m. I do my shows at different times, don't I? So I do them normally generally at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been on some shows in the evening, which is early morning for you Australians, for you guys out in Australia. So what I thought today is because I did the chase yesterday um, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it was the early evening for the Australians. And because I did the chase yesterday afternoon, I thought to myself, do you know what? Let me do the chase this morning because then I can catch all our Australian friends because it'll be early evening for them. So they've probably all had their dinner. They're probably all sitting down. I thought you'd have your pipe, your slippers on, or a nice glass of red or something like that. But no, some of you have decided to come and join me here today, which I'm really welcome and I'm really happy. Um, Jose, I haven't joined as of yet, but I will join later. You get back, Cobber. Okay, fair enough. That's no worries at all. But I'll still go through it so people understand how to join. Scott, another man down under, is here. So that makes three of you. That's Peter, David, and Scott. Good evening to all of you guys. Fantastic. Daniel, I'm presuming that you're at work, Daniel. So um, nice to see you here, mate. Nice to see you here. Um, Peter's asking David, is everything well in Esperance? And then you've got David says, all is well, Peter. I've just received my brand new Revity machine. Okay. Uh, AJ, good afternoon, AJ. I hope you are well, sir. I hope you're well. I'm presuming that a lot of these people may well be at work and may be listening in at work because of the time the show's been done. Mark Cook's here. Good afternoon, Mark. How are you, sir? I hope you're well. He says, big up to everyone. You have Daniel Coy says, no, mate, I'm off work, mate. I've got a bad ear infection. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that, Daniel. Like I say to everybody, your health comes first. Your health is the most important thing. And it's a one-time gig, and it's not nice to be ill, to have any illnesses whatsoever. So I wish you all the very best, mate. I wish you all the very best. John Michael's here. Good afternoon, Jose. Good afternoon, John Michael. John Michael, can I just ask, whereabouts are you in the world? So just so I understand. it's nice to know where people are watching from, and to get to know people. That's what we do here in the community, is trying to get to know each other and have a really nice community. I mean, as you can see in the chat, everyone is saying hello to each other. Um, Especially the Australians are all going well here. They're having a real good chat. It's really good. It's interesting when you see the Australians all talking to each other. It's like talking a different language. They're all talking to each other, and they've all got things to say, and they come out with their Australianisms, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. Um, David has gone out. David, you've issued another. It's given another 5 memberships, and these have gone to Janice Rubelis, Sahil Senuddin, International Observer, Margot Robbie, and Daily Donna's Diary. Right, can I just say to people here, if you go into your settings, your YouTube settings, you can accept memberships, right? Because some people, the people that've got their settings set, it's random. So what David's just done is just gifted out some memberships, and it is random who gets them, right? But in order to be able to access a membership, you've got to be able to click your gift, accept gifts, and if you accept gifts, then you will. You know, when people do give out memberships, which they kindly do, you might be able to get an opportunity to get one. So obviously, some of these people that have come today have not are obviously subscribers to the channel, but they've obviously got their gifted allowance on, so therefore they're being gifted these. So if any of you are here and wondering, you know, why you may not get them, it's because you need to turn that on. Scott is half an hour behind. So hello, Pete. I'm half an hour behind you in Adelaide, is what Scott's saying. John Michael is originally from North London, now in Essex, Canvey Island. All right, nice. I know Canvey Island. Can be sometimes boisterous in Canvey, can't it? Mark Cook, I'm retired, Jose. Still a chest infection and a cough, but I'm all good. Yeah, Mark, seriously, or everybody that's carrying any illnesses whatsoever, I just wish you all the very best, and I wish you all 110% health, because as I said, health is important. It's a one-time gig, and it's not nice. It's not nice being ill at all, whether you've got the smallest cold to whether you've got a big, massive illness. Illnesses are just not good, and I just wish everybody the very best. Paul G, originally Mill Hill in North London, now in Dunstable. Originally Mill Hill, so you're right on the doorstep. So Mill Hill is Barnet, if I remember rightly, because I used to manage at Barnet, Barnet Council, and Mill Hill was the boundaries. Mill Hill, no, Mill Hill weren't the boundaries. Mill Hill was in Barnet, so I think it's NW2, if I remember rightly, or there or thereabouts. Who else have you got? John Michael says, I lived in Arsenal country growing up, Holloway. Imagine that grief I got. Yeah, Holloway is Gooner territory. It definitely is Gooner territory. And Tony from Early Doors Football says, afternoon, Jose, not in for long as currently working. No worries whatsoever. I did say some of the people that are watching, because it's now 12. See, I'm off work today, so it's not a problem. I've come on to do this today in order to catch some people that I may not have caught doing it in the evening. So for me, yeah, to a lot of the people that are watching in England, I'm not sure, you know, whether people are retired, people are on leave, or people are working, but I appreciate you all being here anyway. And then we've got thank you, Jose Cobber. I did my 1,000 steps today, or take 999. David, you need to improve on that, son. I keep saying it to you. And what I will say to people is, for people for good health, they reckon for good heart health, 8,000 steps, right, is what you should aim for a day. I set myself up for 10,000 a day to try and get 10,000 steps in. And if you do it, I don't know, if you've got a set of headphones, put your headphones in, go off, listen to whatever you want to listen to, whether it's a podcast or whether you want one of these books that you can listen to that's read to you whilst you're walking, whether it's music is your bag and you want to listen to music, stick a pair of headphones on, Go out, take a walk. And I'm talking about everyone. I know what you're saying, David. You're joking, but I'm talking to everyone here. It's really important. And it's good. It de-stresses you. It helps your mental health as well. Just go out, get some exercise, do a bit of walking, put some music on, put whatever it is your flavor is that you listen to, put that on and get yourself out there as best as possible. I always find time to do it because people say, yeah, but I've got to work and I've got to do X. With me, with my work, what I tend to do is either I'll go out and do the steps in the morning before I'm working, or I'll do it in between meetings or at lunch, or I'll go out after work. Now, I've got the saving grace for me is that I play football 3 times a week uh, for just over 4 hours. It's meant to be an hour session, so I do an hour on a Monday night, hour on a Wednesday night, and 2 hours on a Friday. So I play a double match on a Friday. And other than that, so I'm going to get me 10,000 steps in them days. But other than that, I try to do my steps at other times as well. So um, at the end of the day, I said it helps me with my thoughts and stuff like that. It helps me with my mental health. Well, helps me with mentally because I'm doing something and keep myself occupied. Um, and also it's healthy for you. And I encourage everyone to do it. We're not too old to be fit. That's what I'm going to say. Daniel says the Dunstable's not too far from him. He's in Milton Keynes. And then we've got Peter Guy says, I think the COVID vaccine is causing problems, I think. Why'd you say that, Peter? Paul G says, yeah, you're spot on, Jose. Mill Hill, Edgware, Barnet, all local. Yeah, Finchley. Finchley was on my patch as well. Oh, God, there was so much that I had to cover. Burnt Oak. Was it Burnt Oak? I had so much that I had to cover. I left Barnet. When did I finish in Barnet? I finished working in Barnet in 2016. So a few years ago. Mark, you're too kind. David, Jose is a top fella. Always a great show. Thank you very much. You got Paul G says, oh, okay, Daniel, nice one. I'm near Eton Braid, so not so far. You'll know where you're talking about. I don't. Scott Colliver says, walking is great for health. It helps with mental health as well. Yes, it does. And look who we got. It's very early in the morning. Are you on baby duties this morning, Leo? Says Jose, good morning. Big up the chat. Much love. And to you, Leo. And to you. Mark says, Jose, born and bred in Enfield, was there till I was 34, then moved up north and now in Oldham, Greater Manchester. Yep, I've been up to Oldham, been up to Greater Manchester before, been to quite a few places up there when I was working for a company. I did quite a bit in the northwest, Liverpool, Manchester, went up to Warrington, Cheadle. God, I went out, yeah, I was all around the northwest working, so. John Fitzpatrick, Jose, what are you giving the window so far? Good afternoon, John. It's been a while, mate. I hope you and your family are well. In all honesty, John, I said for people here already know. I said at the end or the beginning of, or just before the transfer window started, I said that for me, I would judge it on when the window closed. Obviously, we can see throughout the window what's happening, and at the moment, you wouldn't be too high and doing high jumps or anything like that about what we've done so far. And there's still stuff that we need to do. But I did say that I'll judge it by the end of the window. But if you're asking me so far, yeah, it's not there, is it? We know we need more players. It's interesting because we're going to talk transfer news today. I mean, I don't know whether people all got to see Paul O'Keefe last night on Last Word on Spurs. It's quite interesting what he said. It was quite interesting what he said. But at the end of the day, John, what I'm going to say, and I've said all along, is that Tottenham have played this one really, really tight in the sense of, I know we say we've got a tight chairman and all that, but where I'm saying tight is they're not leaking out any information. So I think everyone's just spraying bullets, hoping that someone will one of them bullets will hit and they'll get it right. And then I'll say, yeah, I told you so. I told you were getting blah, blah. But we've been linked with over 400 players since April. And, at the end of the day, the ones that we've got in, well, we've only got one in, we've got two in. We've got Archie Gray in, who nobody knew. No one put the bullet to Archie Gray, and it was Archie Gray, and it was announced within 24 hours. The young kid from Korea, nobody knew nothing at all. All of a sudden, we've signed this kid in Korea, and no one knew nothing about it at all. So none of the journalists are being given any information about Tottenham. When Højbjerg left, everybody was saying that Højbjerg was going to 4 different clubs. Højbjerg went to Marseille. No one had that on there. No one had that Højbjerg was going to Marseille. So I think Tottenham are playing it really close at the moment, and they're not giving much out information. Like I said, it was interesting to watch. Last Word on Spurs and Paul O'Keefe on there because Paul O'Keefe is generally regarded to being close to the club. But he even said yesterday, and he still maintains that the only word he's getting out of the club is that Tottenham say that they will come. Well, they will make three deals. They've got 3 deals lined up, and they've got 3 deals that they're going to be able to do, and that's it. There's no names. Because nobody is at Tottenham is giving out information, and therefore everybody's like clutching at straws. You're making 3 buys, you're making 1 buy, but people are just clutching it because nobody knows. Only Tottenham know, and it will come out, and we'll know exactly what we're getting as and when we do get it. Daniel says, I'm easily getting over 10,000 steps a day at work. Well, that's good, Daniel. That's good. But I don't know what work you do, but whilst you're working, are you allowed to wear headphones and that? Because I'm just saying, so the walking is good and the exercise is good for people, but it's also good to relax by listening to to stuff that makes you tick or makes you click or makes you happy, as well as you're exercising, and it goes hand in hand. AJ says, cool, it's been a while since I was on a football pitch. God, I miss it. Do you, AJ? Well, mate, I turned 56 last Tuesday. I'm 56 years and 1 week exactly today, and I love the game. I love playing football, and it's mixed ages and it's mixed abilities, and the hardest work is when you're playing against the youngsters, because the youngsters just they're off and running. And sometimes you just got to stand off them. You got to stand off them and mark the space that you think that they're going to come into, because otherwise you ain't got a chance of catching up with these little scroats. They're so quick. But it's the fun of it is, going up against the youngsters, because they're the ones that make you move. They're the ones that make you move quicker than others. So yeah, I love playing football, and for me it's an escapism, and it's something that I will try and continue to do till the minute that I can't move anymore. So. Cobber, the cat's out of the bag, brother. Thank you, though. Paul G says, yeah, Burnt Oak is near Edgware, Colindale, etc., all northwest London. AJ, you're going to get your son to join the fantasy league. How old's your son, AJ, if you don't mind me asking, sir? How old's your son? This is congratulations going out to Leo on his new arrival. Cobber, I'm a lucky fella. Everyone is well. Baby London is sleeping away with mum. I wasn't sure, because I think it's like, I don't know, it's got to be like 7:50 or there or thereabouts in the morning for you, Leo, and that's why I wasn't sure whether you were up this morning, because the London had got you up, and it was your turn to do the chores with the bottle. John Michael says 0 out of 10 so far, but let's wait and see. So 0 out of 10 for John Michael. Johnny Fitz is saying, big up, Jose. Hope you're well, my G. Now, I'm fine, mate. I'm fine. I'm happy with you guys being here. You guys make the shows. Like I said, you and you're brilliant, because you're talking to each other and everything like that. And that's what we want. I want a community. I want people to get on, and it's brilliant. Mark Cook says, AJ, I'm the same. Miss playing so much, it's hard to watch. But I tell you what, guys, listen, if you don't want to move around, right, and you're not about running and stuff like that, there's loads of clubs out there, and I'm talking loads. There are loads of clubs out there that are doing walking football. So it's just a 2-touch. So 2-touch football, 2-touch football. It's just walking football. Some play 3-touch at the max, 3-touch football, but it's walking football. You don't have to run. It's just a way of getting out there and enjoying yourself. I mean, I don't play walking football yet, because I've got the ability to run around, and I love running around. So for me, I'm all right. But what I was going to say is that if you can, then go out and do it. Go out and do it. Go out and play. If you're able to and you've got clubs near you, go and do it. You know, it helps the joints and it helps the mind, it helps the body, it helps absolutely everything. Scott, the window has been disappointing, but there is time to sign more players. Tigaru's here, so we've got another one. So the Australians are firmly in the house today. For me, this afternoon, but good evening. It's good evening to you all. It's Benny boy. Afternoon, everyone. It's lunchtime, and Tottenham certainly ain't cooking. Daniel says Paul O'Keefe, the same guy who said a couple of weeks ago, we had 3 deals waiting to get done, and we're just waiting on the selling club. Well, that was a load of. Well, he reaffirmed this again yesterday. He said, and this is what I'm saying, because people don't understand. Sorry, don't understand, because people aren't being told what Tottenham's business is. We're all getting frustrated because we're not getting signings through the door, and we're getting frustrated. But again, he turned around and said that all he's being told is 3 more. Sorry, not 3 more, but 3. The Tottenham are confident of getting 3 more done, and that's it. It's the confidence is there. And he alluded to yesterday that he believes that the most of the money will be spent in the forward areas. He's got a feeling that it'll be 2 players up front and 1 midfielder. But he couldn't give names. He couldn't give names for the midfielder and for the forward players. I mean, at the moment, we're being linked. Well, at the moment, there's a lot of talk about Solanke, and there's a lot of talk about Neto. There was a lot of talk about Ivan Toney. There was a lot of talk about Eze before. So all these players are being talked about, but until they press the button on them, then we're not really going to know who's coming in. But we just need some more players in. We need to big up this squad and this first team. We need more players in. Eze to Manchester City when Alvarez completes their free. Alvarez is more a forward player, Ben. He's more a 10 player, isn't he? Or a second striker, Alvarez. Is Eze a second striker? I don't know. But it's interesting because today there's a lot of news coming out, and it's saying that the people are now saying that Eze's release clause is only for teams that are in the Champions League. So there's a lot of bluster and hot air out there at the moment, but the chips will lie where they lie. We'll get who we get in. John Mark, I believe we're going to make a shock signing which no one is expecting. Well, apparently it's not Chiesa, according to Paul O'Keefe last night. He said Chiesa is not on the list at all for Tottenham. Yeah, mate, we're allowed to wear headphones as long as they're bone condensing headphones, so I can still hear someone if they shout you. Fair enough. Well, yeah, if you're getting your steps in, mate, and you're allowed to listen to your headphones as well, then happy day for you, Daniel. Happy day for you. What did he say here? I don't know. Where is it? Jose, you're a phenomenon. You shut me to tears. What a great idea. We should try to do it. Yeah, but the difficulty with trying to do that is finding somewhere to host the game which is going to be sensible for everyone to get to. But yeah, like I said, I implore all of you, if you're able to do it, if you're not able to run around, look for a walking football team. You still get fun and enjoyment. You're going to be out with like-minded people. You probably get people that support all different types of teams, but you get the banter. You get that football energy back, and if you've got people that support other teams, you get that banter between you all, and that is superb. It's superb. He's 16. Oh, then he's legal and he's old enough to play then, AJ. That's superb, mate. Superb. John Michael, I'm 51 now, and I play with my son and his mates. Leave me for dead. But John, you know the score yourself. It's enjoyable, isn't it? I've played with my son. My son's now 35, and I've played with my son, and I've got a son of 31, and I played with him as well. So, yeah, they sadly no longer play, but I still do. But yeah, at the end of the day, just go out, enjoy. Yeah, and for us blokes, I'm going to say women as well, because women do enjoy playing football as well. But for us blokes, there's nothing better than going out having a game of footy, having the banter with the people that you're with. And I suppose you get that in any team sport, don't you? But I know you get it in football because I've played, and you know, you have all that, and you can go and have a drink afterwards, or have a bit of munch with your mates after, and that it's all good. It's all good. David Shear has handed out another 5 memberships. David is on fire, but David, I don't know who they've gone to. Okay, so they've gone to Donovan Ostriker, so Canadian Donovan, that is. Spurs Kings TV, so I don't know whether that goes to Marlon or Ashmatic. D Sinclair, Chang Ching Song. So Chang's picked one up, and Phil P. Woo! So Phil P's picked one up. So these people need to thank David Shear. Mark Cook, AJ was a centre back, played at a decent. AJ, I was a centre back and played at decent Newham, but now have health struggles, but would definitely come out of retirement to raise money for charity. Would get my lad involved too. Mark, honestly, mate, as I said, I wish everyone all the very best, and I don't wish illnesses on anyone at all. I just hope everyone can be ill-free. But if you can and you're able to, even walking football, you know, I can't say it enough. Even walking football, it's a form of exercise, and it helps mental health, and it helps the body and everything. So, can someone please? What's he saying here? Can someone please get a list together of late developers done good? Big question. In what 3? I'm not happy with all this Solanke talk. I don't know what 3. He said he couldn't tell. He said that the club are not telling him. And this is like I keep saying, John. If you look at all the your Ornsteins, your Romanos, your O'Keefes, your Matt Laws, all these people. Then you've got your Sky reporters and all that. Nobody knows nothing. They're keeping it so tight that nobody knows nothing whatsoever. So at the end of the day, all he's saying is he's still being told it's 3. We're going to get 3 done, but they can't tell you who the 3 are going to be. Who we got here? David Shear, Mark Cook. I was a centre half back, halfback. Aussie rules with white line fever. Scott Colliver says the way things are going, it will be a shockingly bad signing. Ooh. Ben Kaufman. Ben says, how is Manchester City can complete a highly complicated £81 million deal in 24 hours whilst we are sitting on our hands? It's so frustrating. Yeah, Ben, I think that a lot of the dealings had already been done, and it's just that when people get wind of it, it's been done really quickly. I don't know, and I'll be honest with you, Ben, I really don't know where Atletico Madrid have managed to get the money that they've got in order to not only just do this buy, but do Conor Gallagher as well. I know you can monetize it over 5 years and stuff like that, but it's a big old outlay. You're talking about over 100 million for both of these players. And with the way that the finances are in Spain, not only just in football, but as a country in general, it just baffles me sometimes how these teams have got all this money. But in saying that, I think they've signed him 70 million euros with 25 million in add-ons. So he ended up total cost will be 95, and that's if the add-ons can be achievable. I'm sure that Man City find them achievable otherwise, because 25 million add-ons is a hell of a lot of add-ons to put on. So Man City must be thinking to themselves that these add-ons are achievable, whether it be over a year, 3 year, 5 year, that the add-ons are achievable full stop, because that's a lot of add-ons to have in a deal. Hey, look at this, Joris. Big up, Jose. I hope you're well. What's the 3rd competition you're doing? Just showed up. I did predictions and fantasy. What's the 3rd? The 3rd one, Joris, is the actual predictions that I do on the show on a Friday, which are manual ones that so what I do is I do a show on a Friday, and on a Friday we put the fixtures up, and everyone types in their scores, and then what I do is I go away and I put it into an Excel spreadsheet, and then it's a straight 3 points for a correct score, 1 point for a prediction, and then we do a league table from there. This is how I started doing it last year. It took up a lot of my time, but what I've now said this time round, Joris, is that I'll only accept people's predictions on the show live itself, or if people miss the show and they put them into the comments section at the end of the show, that's the only way that I'll accept them. I will not be chasing people like I did last year, because it becomes a hell of a lot of work. The two that I'm doing online, for obvious reasons, the Barclays Fantasy Football is an established competition. We're just entering it for the first time as a channel. And the other one with the predictions is it's just done differently because you get goal differences and stuff like that. So it's an interesting one to do. They do it all. They do all the work. So two of these is self-serving, and the work's not done by me. But the third competition, it will be done by me, and these will be on usually the shows will go out on a Friday, because obviously the first matches of the week start on a Friday if they're going to start. So every Friday we'll run the predictions for the following week, and I do them live on the shows. David Shear, and I'm going to show everybody in a minute the competitions as well, the online ones, and where to find them and how to get into them. David Shear says, geez, I've got 100,000 steps from the drill rigs. You kept up with the rig. That's a lot. That's a lot. Daniel says, I smoke too much to play football nowadays. Listen, it might be a way of you thinking to yourself, what do you rather do, get healthy or carry on smoking? Because when you get on a pitch, if you're a smoker, you get on a pitch and you get out of breath and stuff like that, it don't half make you make a decision. I gave up. I used to smoke. Oh, fucking hell. I smoked a minimum of 20 fags a day, a minimum, from the age of about 16. And I gave up smoking about, I don't know, I can't even remember. Possibly my daughters are going to be 18 in November. So I probably gave up about 15, 16 years ago. I just overnight, I said, well, switched the flick and said, I won't smoke anymore. And I just stopped. And I was still playing football back then. And at the end of the day, you don't half feel it when you're coughing up. And then, you don't half feel it. And it makes you make a decision. Leo, my heart was says, Jose, spot on, the chips will fall into place. We can't provoke or demand signings. Got to wait and see. Scott Hyams here. Big up to all coys. Good afternoon to you, Scott. If you are in England, good afternoon. If not, tell me where you are, and I will salutate you according to your time and hour. Mark says, AJ, we'll chat to you about this to see if we can work something out. Yeah, that's good. This is what I'm talking about, having a community. Having a community is brilliant. Walking football is very fun, very hard to resist the urge to run, though. Yes, and that's what I was going to say. You've got to make that decision, Tigaro. I prefer playing contact and proper football. Is what I still prefer to play, and I still can do it at the moment. So I'm still doing that. But the minute I feel that I can't do it anymore, then I will fall back into walking football. Ben says, I have an autoimmune disease, so my stamina is gone now. I'm tired and my legs are stiff after 20 minutes. It's a real shame. That is a real shame. And like I said, Ben, earlier, to anybody, anybody, I said from a cold to a big, big illness, your body and your health is a one-time gig, and you've got to look after yourselves. You have to look after yourselves. And I don't wish illness on absolutely nobody, because everybody should have quality of life in my eyes. So I hope that you, obviously with an autoimmune disease, you have to manage it, and I hope you can manage it as best as you can, Ben. Daniel Coy says, I can now say it with 100% confidence, I'm a quality goalkeeper. Well, when you're in goal, you don't really have to do much running, do you? So the smoking probably doesn't affect you. Although if you dive and you smash your chest off the floor when you dive, then it might make you cough then. The Belgian Oxford says, bloody hell, fly over or take a Eurostar if you can organise a charity match, Jose. Seriously. It's not. It's the boys in the chat. And this is what I like. I like community. Community is absolutely brilliant. And by having a community, look, in the community, they're now saying they want to organise a charity match, a friendly for a charity match. I'm all up for it. Look, it's the ideas that are coming through from the people in the community that want to do it. You've got Daniel says, my ideal three would be Tony, and Eze. And Spurs Kings TV is here. I don't know whether it's Marlon or I don't know whether it's Ashmatic, but you were gifted your membership by David Shear. So just letting you know, mate, this whichever one of you two it is, it's David Shear that gifted it to you. John Michael says Lang has always been very quiet wherever he's been, gives nothing away. He's like a ninja. AJ says I was a DM. I loved it. Maybe a call from Spurs. Looks like they need a 6. Yeah, Peter, if David Shear does get hold of your number and he passes it on to me, I can add you to the WhatsApp group, mate. It's not a problem at all. John Michael says Alvarez is a top player, but City must be laughing after getting 81 million. Goes him. We are Atletico getting all this money from. I said, as I said, I don't know, because in Spain as a country has been on its knees for, God, it's got to be a good, what are we now, 2024? I'd say a good 16 years, minimum 2008, minimum, right? And yeah, it's been on its knees as a country, and all the most money that they were getting in Spain was from building sites, new builds going up and stuff like that. You go to Spain now, and the new builds have stopped. When the money ran out, they ceased and they stopped, and they've got no one. So you got half-built plots, quarter-built plots, three-quarter built plots, and nobody has been able to invest to re-pick up where they've left off and finish all these new builds that they've got. The building industry is completely. That's where most of the money came from Spain, and that's completely been shot to pieces. You go to so I live in Spain. I live in La Coruña. That's the main town from where I live. So I'm in the mountains and that. But when you're the city, the main city is La Coruña. You're going to La Coruña and going in there shopping now to what you could, the Americans would call it a precinct, wouldn't they? I wouldn't say it's a shop. It's not a shopping centre, but it's it's street. It's a main drag that's got all the shops. I went there. I think the last time I went to Coruña was about 7 years ago now, because I tend to go holidays other places. But yeah, I went there, and year on year, shops were closing, and they weren't reopening back up. They're still empty plots, and that's the way it's gone. And like I said, I'm amazed how some of these Spanish clubs are finding the money. Mark says, Jose, who do you think will get in? Names required, not positions. Mark, I haven't got a clue. I really haven't got a clue. Yeah, I don't know, Mark. I couldn't give you 3 names because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what positions they'll go for. I mean, I still think that we're shy of at least 4 players. At least. I'd say more. But just to get us going, I'd say we're still shy of 4. And I've said either a centre forward and a wide player, or 2 forwards that can play across the line. So that's 2 players, 1 midfielder, a different type of midfielder to what we've already got, a different profile, and 1 defensive cover who can play left centre back or left back, just to make sure that we've got Van der Ven and a doggy covered for. Because Davis doesn't excite me in covering. Well, Davis does the job for you, but to the detriment of the way the team plays, because he doesn't play Ange ball type thing. The way that Ange sets his teams up is not conducive to Ben Davis. So I would say we're 4 short, but yeah, who these players are, mate, I don't know. But whatever we do, we need to improve the squad and get behind the team. Tigaro says that he smoked and drank too much last night. Ooh, Tigaro. Daniel Coys is saying, people saying where Atletico getting the money from, and other than João Felix, they don't need to spend loads of money consistently making the Champions League football every season, always making the same profit player sales. Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, I understand what you're saying, Daniel, but at the end of the day, if you're not making profits from your sales and stuff like that, you still got to pay the wages and your stuff that you got to pay year in, year out. So where is your money coming from? Daniel said Atletico probably got enough cash reserves built up to get deals done. Spain have been skint for years, and unless they had cash reserves many years ago. John Michael says, predictions on how many points we get in our first 6 games. Leicester, Everton, Newcastle, Arsenal, Brentford, Man United. I say 10 points. It's a tough start. Away to Leicester, home to Everton. Are we away to Newcastle, home to Arsenal? Away to Brentford, home to Man United. I'm going to say 13 points. I'll say 13. 13. Do you know what? I don't think from the football that we're playing, right, and the football that we've seen, right, last season, we just didn't have someone who could put it in the bag often into the net. We created chances, we just didn't have someone playing that could put it away often enough. Richarlison didn't play often enough. Then we messed around with the front three. We had put Sonny up there. We changed the wingers that were playing because of injuries and whatever not. The chances that we missed as well. If we get someone up there and we get people that can tidy it and that can put the ball up in the back of the net, I think that we'll be surprised. I think we'll end up scoring a lot more goals. It's whether we concede less than what we did last season. But like I keep saying, the game is always about beating your opponent. You've got to outscore them. So if you win 5-4, then it's a victory. You've scored 5, they've scored 4, it's a victory. What I will say is that the way Postecoglou sets up is the way that our deal is set up. So when we brought in Jurgen Klinsmann, we played, what was it, 4 at the back? We played 4 at the back, no one in midfield, and 6 up front. Absolutely mental kamikaze football it was, but it was fun. I still remember beating Sheffield Wednesday 4-3, and Klinsmann scoring 2 goals, and one was an overhead, one was a volley, and it was just absolutely brilliant. Our dealers went out with the intention of attack, attack, attack. There was no defence; it was just attack, and it was a 1-4-0-6 setup that we had. And did it right. So we got Oraza Hamim says the Paul must be the one who recommended the Atletico owners to bring Alvarez to Atletico Madrid, just like Messi wanted Romero back then in Barca. The other thing that I was thinking about, right, obviously because I know Spanish, is that Man City and Atletico have got a good relationship because Kun Aguero, as he was called in when he was at Atletico Madrid, he was Kun Aguero. There was no Sergio, he was Kun Aguero when he was at Atletico Madrid, and Kun Aguero at the time he was his father-in-law was Maradona because Kun Aguero was married to Maradona's daughter, weren't he? So he would have been the son-in-law to Diego Maradona when he was at Madrid. Kun Aguero went from Atletico to Manchester City, and you know he was ended up being a good deal for Man City. But yeah, they've got a really good. Looks like they've got a really good relationship because they had a relationship back then because Man City were able to take Kun from Atletico, and he was an Argentinian star player for them back then. Argentinian star player now leaves Man City and goes to Atletico Madrid. So it appears that they've got a good understanding between them. Daniel, of course, says people can keep saying Ange don't play without a proper number 6. Well, I'm sorry. If you want to succeed in the Premier League, you need a number 6. Simple as. John Mark says we need another Moussa Dembele. That was a top midfielder that never gave the ball away. And like I said on previous shows, when I play football, and even when I played when I was a youngster, from growing up, the one thing we always turn around and say to each other on the pitch is look after the ball. Look after the ball, i.e., keep the ball, don't lose it, look after it. You know, don't give away cheap possession, regardless of what part of the field you're in. Keep the ball and look after it. So, yeah, you know, at the end of the day, if Tottenham can attack and they can keep the ball and cut out some of the mistakes they make where we lose the ball and then we get turned over in transition, then you know who knows. But yeah, there is an argument for this 6. When he played at Celtic, Postecoglou will tell you that he played with 3/8. But Connor, oh no, it's not Connor. What's his name? What's his name? Connor. Callum McGregor. Callum McGregor, for all intents and purposes, to me, looked like he played a 6th position. But Postecoglou and all the coaches up there will tell you no, it was 3/8. But he looked like he was a 6 playing there. Look at the Australians. Look, Peter, we should organise a meet and catch an Aussie rules never been to the G with Tigara next year. There you go. Look, all the people in the Australians are all hooking up. It's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. Scott Collar says we need to have tactics that help the defence when Porro and Doggy invert. There are some people that are saying that we should only invert with one at a time and not two. And that would help us out. I also have a feeling that if they were resting a Doggy and they started Van der Ven there at left, Van der Ven wouldn't invert, but Porro would. So that means you'd always keep three at the back. Peter goes, Daniel, mate, you think Ange doesn't see the shit, yet he's still doing what he's doing. He must have his reasons. Amin, good afternoon, Amin. Spurs will regret spending 65 on Silenki. It will be the biggest joke of the century. Daniel says it's suicidal football at times, and without a number 6 doing his first job, which is being a number 6, instead of a guy doing all 3 jobs, we will become unstuck. John Michael is saying, what really works, me, Jose, is the way to open all teams know how we play. Low block against us and catch us on transitions. And is stubborn just to tweak things a bit. John, what I said, I'll tell you what I said about this, right? I watched, like you guys can, it's not a hidden secret. We can watch Tottenham on YouTube because they've got a channel, haven't they? And on YouTube, you can get to see everything that, when they release Tottenham's training sessions, you get to see what they've been doing. And from watching that, I look at it and I think to myself, it looks very similar and samey, the kind of goal that we're looking to score. Yeah, it looks very similar and samey. But sometimes, although it looks similar and samey, you can't stop it happening. So in pre-season, I've seen some goals that I thought to myself, you could have just taken the camera roll on it. Yeah, so you could have videoed the goals, some of the goals that we've scored, and you can pick that up, superimpose it onto the training session, take the training session one and superimpose it on the actual game one, and the goals are identical. So although it's samey what we're trying to do, we end up scoring them goals. And last season we scored quite a few goals like that as well. So even though people know what you're going to do on the goal scoring front, you're still getting goals from doing it. And the way I said it, right, and the analogy I'm going to give is David Ginola, and what a great player he was for Tottenham. And he was a great player for Newcastle and everything. But with David Ginola, you knew that he shakes his hips. You knew he dropped his shoulder. So players knew what Ginola was going to do, but players could never stop him from doing it. And Gary Neville said it famously. He said, Ginola, he goes, I knew what he was going to do, but he still beat me. He did what I knew he was going to do and still got past me. And I think that sometimes with the way we play and the way we attack, it's, yeah, all right, people know what we're trying to do. People know what the game plan is, to keep wide players, get the ball and then put it into the box. And it's all right saying that, but people have not been able to stop them from scoring goals yet. Now, if you're going to play that system and you're not going to tweak it any, and you're going to bring better players in that suit that system and people that will finish off the moves, then we're looking to get more goals. I do understand the argument about the transition when we lose the ball, but that's what I'm saying. If you take care of the ball and you make better decisions in the midfield in the final third, where you're not giving the ball away, you stop other people from having chances. So I think there's a bit of both in the argument. Joris says, what are your thoughts on Solanke, Jose? Sorry if I'm late to the party. I have no thoughts whatsoever, Joris, other than 3 players. If we're going to bring, as I said, I think we need at least 4 players to be brought in, and we just need to bring them in. And if the scouting team and the data-led approach and all that leads us to whoever it is that's coming in, then I'm all for it. Whoever comes to the club, I'll support them. You know, if they wear the badge with pride and they play for the fans and for the team, right, and don't just come here to make money, then I'm supporting you as a player. So regardless of who we bring in, I'm supporting them as a player. I think that with the two young boys that we've brought in, Gray and Berger, to watch them play football and watch them on a pitch, it's actually a blessing. And to watch some of the youngsters, because they're hungry, they're there, they want to play for the club, they're playing for the badge, they want to play, and that's the kind of player you want. It goes a long way if you've got people that are coming to play for your team and they're playing for the badge with pride. It goes a long way with the fans, and it goes a long way with your team and teammates. And you just need to have 11 of them on a pitch. If you've got 2 or 3 on the pitch that are just there for a payday, then things will fall down. Joris says, I consider Ben Davies as a left centre back these days, where he filled in rather well last season. I don't want to see him playing inverted left back ever again, mostly because he just doesn't have the legs. David is thanking Daniel for being a good negative man. David saying, Chiesa, please. Yesterday on Last Word on Spurs, Paul O'Keefe said Tottenham have definitely got no interest in Chiesa. And what I will say about Chiesa, and I did say that with Chiesa, if you take, I'd take a punt on him because he's got to have a medical, and you've got to pass a medical in order to get signed by a team. But the fact that nobody has gone in for Chiesa, it's kind of alarming, isn't it? But there's still 24 days left of the window, whatever. So he may still get snapped up by a club. But it's just interesting that I thought people would be all over Chiesa, and we're not hearing anything at the moment. Man United have pulled out the Ugarte deal. I really like him as a 6. I said this yesterday. I said this on the show yesterday. Ugarte, right? And I'll repeat what I said yesterday for those that haven't heard me say it yet. I'm good at I'll repeat. And can I say to people, I've got 20 odd people watching us at the moment, which is I'm happy with. But with the 20 odd people, the like button has only been hit 8 times. So please, and there's more than 8 of you here, even talking to me now. So please remember to hit the like button for the stream. It is really, really helpful. Right. When Son was wearing that mask, and I can't remember, was it was pre-going to the World Cup or just after he got back? But in that season, so it was before he went, because he went with the mask to the World Cup. He had gone off the ball, right? And I turned around and I said, this wasn't on YouTube. This was one of the Tottenham Facebook groups. And I turned around and said, I would take 100 million for Son now, right? Because Liverpool was sniffing for him at the time. They were interested. Klopp was interested in bringing Sonny and the other teams. And I said, I'll take 100 million for him now, right? And the 100 million right now, I would take that and I would spend it on Mohamed Kudus at Ajax, and I spent it on Manuel Ugarte. It was at Sporting Lisbon at the time, and I got laughed out of the room. I got absolutely laughed out of the room by a load of Tottenham people saying, "You're mad, you're demented, blah blah blah." Well, Mohamed Kudus has gone to West Ham, proper footballer, would have improved us no end had he come to us. And as for Ugarte, if we keep screaming for this 6 type player that you need, well then that's Ugarte's position. Ugarte is a 6. People need to bear in mind that they've just bought João Neves from Benfica, and I've just weighed 80 million euros or something on him. And they've also got Vitinha, who's there, who gets into the side as well before Ugarte. And the other thing is they've got Fabian Ruiz there, who doesn't get a look in. You've got Luis Enrique, who's the manager at PSG, and Fabian Ruiz doesn't get a look in either. So you're going to have Fabian Ruiz, and you're going to have you're going to have Fabian Ruiz there, and you're going to also have Ugarte that's surplus to requirements. They are 2 fantastic footballers, and they wouldn't cost you the earth. I mean, I don't know what the salaries would be, but they wouldn't cost you the earth to go and buy these 2 players, and they would definitely improve Tottenham's midfield. Ugarte and Fabian Ruiz all day long would improve Tottenham's midfield. But let's wait and see. John Michael says, Ange is the only manager in the world that plays 2 inverted fullbacks. What does that tell you? Madness, in my opinion. And everyone has an opinion. Everyone has an opinion. The Belgian Hotspur says, remember Vermeeren? Now that Gallagher went to Atletico, we could go for him. He is going to be a top player. Only 19 as well. I'm biased, but I go have a look at his highlights for Antwerp versus Barca. Vermeeren, did Vermeeren end up going to Atletico? I think he did, didn't he? Wasn't it Atletico Vermeeren went for in the end? Ben says everything is frantic and we need someone to calm it down. Joris is saying, yeah, that one Facebook goes, one stays, or maybe double pivot, which could free up Madders a bit. I think Maddison has got a big season, Joris, if I'm honest. Yeah, I think he's got a big season. He's got a lot that he needs to show us. A lot that he needs to show us. I think he owes us in the sense that, you know, we paid for him. We want him at our club. I've got no doubts that he wants to be playing, but he only played half a season last season, or not even that. He played a third of a season because when he came back from his injuries and that, he just wasn't the same player. And I'm just hoping that he hits the ground running and that he can give us more. What we've got is we've got players that can only give us a quarter of a season, and it's not good enough. If Madison's only fit and can only give us a quarter of a season, Richarlison can only give us a quarter of a season, then we're going to be stuck with a lot of these players. We need players that can be available and fit to play week in, week out. Daniel says, in transition, Jose, mate, it takes literally 2 passes and they're through on goal. At times, our protection on the defence is zilch. Like the terminology zilch. I haven't heard the word zilch for ages. John Michael says, if Solanke is one of the 3, the other 2 better be something special. We need quality, not quantity. Yes, we want quality. I'd rather have quality. If it was quantity, we'd be buying 8 players. Our plan A is a nightmare for defenders, says Joris. Kaiser wants too much in wages. That's what's putting us off. He wants 300k a week. John Michael, I don't even know if it's putting us off. Paul O'Keefe said a direct no. Tottenham are just not interested in Kaiser at all. Haven't been and are not interested. The Belgian also says no coincidence that Plan A goal is what it is, and was a fullback. He knows it's impossible to stop. Daniel Coy says, yeah, I thought a guy was not available. I thought he was going to Man U. If he's on the market, there's your 6, problem sorted. Tigaro, hello. Tigaro's gifted 5 memberships. I didn't even see that, so I don't know who it's gone to. Right, Tigaro, people that need to thank Tigaro, and I think Scott Colliver is in the chat. So you've got Scott Colliver, Nate, Bobby Kay, Rob Belcher, and Kismat, who is Heron. He came through, and he's one of the guys that came through Ashp. So they're the 5 people that have been given it. So thank you very much. Scott Colliver's already thanked Tigaro. And if any of the others come in, I will let them know that Tigaro is the one that gave them out to him. Yeah, there's Scott Colliver thanking Tigaro there. Tigaro says, I'm not doing 12, Dave, but yeah, smash the likes and subscribe to people. Yep, that's great. That'd be brilliant. It's not being diplomatic, Joris. For me, right, regardless of who I like, don't like, yeah, at the end of the day, I like players, but whether they're in there's players that I like in the world of football, but whether they fit his system or not, and whether the data leads you to them or not, is 2 different things. Tottenham are simply going to go out and buy players that they believe that the data leads them, and they're going to fit the system. And at the end of the day, I've got to trust. That's why they get paid all the big bucks for doing this. I've got to trust that their decisions are going to be the correct ones by using the technology they have at hand. But with the eye test, there's a lot of players that I like, but it doesn't mean that they're going to come to Tottenham because they may not fit the system, and the data won't lead Tottenham to getting these players. Vermeeren did go to Atletico. Belgian Joris says, I lived in Italy and played my football there. All my ex-teammates say that Chiesa is different player since his ACL. Belgium Hotspur has hit a like. Ben says, I'm really happy they sacked the sports science guy. He was a total muppet. The sports science guy that left yesterday, was he sports science or was he medical science, Ben? I thought I'd read that he was medical science, and I think to myself, if it is, then your problem. We've had problems with injuries for as long as I can remember. Would that then mean that he was part of the problem? David Shear says Maddison needs to show consistency and resilience. There definitely is a player in there. Come on, you effing Spurs. John Michael says Madders is a good player, but his levels dropped massively. He needs to prove himself this season. Peter is saying that Bergvall has impressed him. I think he's impressed everyone as well, Peter. I think we will share with that. What else we got? What else we got? Right. I think I've caught up. Yeah, Ben saying whatever he was wrong. He had to go. I thought he was medical science or something like that. And I was thinking to myself, when I saw the news yesterday, I thought to myself, right, so is this the fella that, that's been part of the problem with all our injuries for years and years? Because we've suffered for many, many years with injuries. Right, so where are we? Right, I'm going to, for the people that's with us, we've got 20 odd people still here, which is good. I'm going to share on the competitions that we're doing, not live, that we're doing on the through other parties. So I want to share what we're doing and to see where we can get some more people to join up. So this is the Predict the Football. So with Predict the Football, there's a code there. It's in the it's on the community page. On my community page, the second from last posting that I've put on there, I've got the actual web address for this. It'll take you straight to this straight to this Predict the Football, and then I've got a code there to enter the league. And with Predict the Football, it's self-serving. You'll get an email saying to you, it's time to predict the football. And then what you do is you predict your own scores on what the matches will be and what the scores will be in the matches. And then we have a league that we're running. The difference with this one is that at the moment I can put in the result of 2-0 to Manchester United, right? Like I've done there, 2-0 to Manchester United, and that's my score. Obviously, I put in the rest of the scores. As long as the match hasn't kicked off, I can amend that score. So let's say on Friday afternoon, or sorry, let's say Thursday, because this is a Friday game. So the press conference will happen on the Thursday for a Friday game, and then what will happen is Ten Hag will come out and tell you all the injuries that you've got. Fulham will come around and tell you the injuries that they've got, and then you think to yourself, right, okay, Man United got 8 players out. I don't think it's going to be 2-0 now. I think it's actually going to be more 2-1 to Fulham. So you can change your score to Man United 1, Fulham 2. Do you see what I mean? So before the game kicks off, as long as the ball hasn't been kicked, you can change your score at any time you want. And this is the difference with this competition is that with this competition, to read what it says. Please be mindful that in this league operates a scoring system that if you over or under predict your scoreline, it will affect your goals for and your goals against. So it does it's quite clever. It does a goals for and a goals against, depending on what your prediction is. But it's an interesting one to go in. And at the moment we had 21 when I checked it. Yeah, we've got 21 players at the moment. So at the moment you have AJ, Severs, Graham, just a harmless potato, Jamie Imber, who's also Jamie Imber or Talking Tottenham TV. You've got Johnny Sanchez, you've got Joris, the Belgian Hotspur, you have myself, you have Kells, Kevin Clark, Kuva, Lee Smithy Smith, Rob Belcher, Ronnie, Scott Colliver's in the chat, Scott M, and Mark Cousins, the Sheriff. So we currently have 21 players on board. And the reason why I'm talking about this now is because I won't be around after today till the weekend, and therefore I'm trying to drum up some support now to try and get some more people in. And then the other one that we're doing, it's on the community page. It's the last posting on the community page. And for that, it's the Fantasy Football League, which is run by Barclays. It's the Barclays Fantasy Football League. So it's one that's been going for ages. You only have to pick their team once. And once you pick the team once, you can enter as many leagues as you want. So if you've got codes for any other leagues, just, enter them. So With this one, the rules are you got 15 players to select and you have 100 million to spend. I've selected 15 players just so you guys can see. This team will change. It won't be the same for the start of the season. Your 15 players must consist of 2 goalkeepers, 5 defenders, 5 midfielders, and 3 attackers. And you cannot have no more than 3 players selected from one team. So for this argument here, I have Lewis, Foden, and Haaland. So I have 3 Manchester City players. I can't put a 4th one in there. Yeah. So it's just so people understand you can only have 3 players maximum from any one team. And once you've picked your 15 players, then what you go into is you're going to pick in your team, right? There we go. So we go to pick your team. And when you pick your team, it's up to you how you set your team up. Yeah. You must have a minimum of a goalkeeper, 3 defenders, or 3 midfielders, and 1 striker. That's as a bare minimum, right? But you can change your system depending on what you see fit. So one week you could think, bloody hell, all my defenders are at home and they've got a good chance of keeping a clean sheet. So you may want to do this. Right. You might go in with a 5-4-1 because all your defenders are playing at home. They're not playing at home, but they're playing at home. You think they've got a good chance of scoring your points. Yeah. So you can change it to a 5-4-1. Equally, you can say to yourself, right, I'm really bulking my midfield this week. And you can change it and you go to a 4-5-1. You always got to remember you can have a minimum of 3 defenders and there has to be a minimum of 3 midfielders on the pitch. And 1 striker has to be on the pitch. You can't play with a false no striker at all. And then the other way of looking at it is you can turn around and you can go for a 3-5-2. So that means you're using your maximum midfielders in there. Or you can drop a midfielder out and you can go back to a 3-4-3. So the beauty of it is it's down to you to select your team for that game week. The way the points work is every player that plays a minimum of 60 minutes gets 2 points. Anyone who plays, if that's an appearance point, 2 points. Anyone who plays under 60 minutes will score you 1 appearance point. Goalkeepers score 5 points for a clean. I think it's 5 points for a clean sheet. A defender will score you 4 points for a clean sheet. I think a midfielder scores you 1 point for a clean sheet. Striker doesn't get you nothing for clean sheets. Goals scored, I think defenders get you 5 points for a goal scored. A midfielder gets you 4 points for a goal scored. And a striker gets you 3 points for a goal scored. My dog's going mad. And then apart from that, you get assists. So you get points for assists. So you'll have to bear with me a second. It was a delivery, and it wasn't even for us. It was for a neighbour, but the dogs have gone mad. No wonder delivery drivers don't like to come here. Sorry, as I was saying, goals scored. So if you score a goal, it's 5 for a defender, 4 for a midfielder, and 3 for a striker for each goal scored. You get points for assist in a goal. That's not a pre-assist; it's an actual assist. So if your defender goes up for a corner, let's say, and he headers the ball and it comes off the back of a defending player and it goes to your forward, let's say, and it goes to a member of that team and they score, that defender will not get an assist bonus. It has to be a direct assist. And then you get minus points for goals conceded. So a goalkeeper that concedes 2 goals will get 0 points. A defender will get 0 points. Anything more than 2 goals, you start minusing 1 point for each goal that's gone in. You get minus points if you get a yellow card, minus points if you get a red card, and there are minus points if you have a penalty saved. So whoever takes that penalty, if they miss the penalty, you get minus points. Anyway, it's self-serving, and what it has on the sheet, it tells you the game week that you're playing. So it's quite good because it actually gives you a calendar of the football that's coming up. So with this one, it says game week 1, Friday the 16th of August, 18:30. That means that the first game that's being played will be Friday the 16th of August, and you have till 6:30 in the evening, which is an hour and a half before the first kickoff, to change and finalise your team. What I will say to people, it gets so busy because people leave it so late that maybe you should do it about 3 to 4 hours before kickoff and amend your team then. With your team, you can change and amend your team anytime up until that stage. You can select a captain. A captain will score you double points. So at the moment, who's my captain at the moment? I've got a V for, I say, so Anana's currently captain at the moment, and Bruno Fernandes is vice captain. You've got to have a vice captain in there because if your captain don't play, then automatically it will go to your vice captain, will get the double points. If you have any players that don't play for you in that game week, what the computer automatically does for you, it will automatically sub out a player for a player that played, so you get more chance of scoring points for that game week. 3 times a year you get to play, sorry, once a year you get to play a bench boost. So once in the 38 game weeks, if you play bench boost, that means that all 15 of your players score points, including the players on your bench for that week. You have a triple captain to play. So if your captain is, say, let's say for argument's sake, you've got one of the big boys up front as your captain. If you play him as a captain, then that week, whatever points he scores will be trebled. Yeah. And yeah, so, and transfers, you can do 1 transfer a week free of charge. That's after the game week starts. After game week 1, you can do 1 transfer free of charge. Anything more than 1 transfer, it will cost you 4 points for each transfer thereafter. If there's an international week, what you'll find is that when you come back to play again, you'll have 2 transfers because it gives you 1 transfer maximum a week up to a maximum of 2. So if you don't use your transfer in the first week, the following week it will give you a maximum of 2 transfers. But that's the maximum you'll ever get is 2 in a week. And at the moment, we have, as we speak, so yeah, you go in, you pick your team. So you go in, you pick your team. Once you've picked your team, you go into leagues. And then you go into create or join a new league. And then you join a league or a cup, join Invitational League, and then you enter the code in there, and it will take you straight into the Hotel Cockerel League. And in the Hotel Cockerel League, I think we had 31 when I checked this morning, and we still have. So you have Hotel Cockerel there. It's me. You have Mark Cousins, who's called his team Mark Hotspurs. Rakdos Madness, who's Alan, who's called himself Team Tottenham Go, which is his channel. Leo Coys, so we all know him as Leo, has called himself the team, the Homies. Phil Coys called himself Angie's Army. Just a Harmless Potato, whose real name is Mark Oliver, has gone and called himself Just a Harmless Potato. AJ has called his team Norfolk and Chance. Jessie from Jessie Talks Football has called her team Spanner Army. Ped Vessel has got West Bromwich Albion. Steve Riffamato is Rough Diamonds. Robbie Clark, who is Lily White Lane, is Fornan Jeremy. Kev Clark is A Grey Day. Johnny Sanchez, or Johnny Sanchez Bethnal Green, or Johnny Sanchez Vasco, as you can all know him, has got a team that is saying it's changed name. So Johnny obviously has to change the name of his team. Rob Belcher, we used to win stuff. Adrian Chia has called his team Anja Manager. Brendan Tull is Dragons D Nuts. My wife has got G'day Cobber. I have got another team called Levy Out, but the name will change. Joris, the Belgium Hotspurs, called Belgium Hotspurs. Graham Clutterbuck is Spurs GCTV. Chris Peters is only Spurs. Graham Dunn is 99 Problems. Jamie Imber, Nothing Else Matters. Ian Greenwood is Keats Clarets. Ronnie Smith is called his team Ronsky. Colin Sievers, Off to Grandma. James Corley, James Who Loves Spurs. Carl Simpson is the quad is on FC. Scott M, Happy Clapper FC. Nathan Petis, who I know as Nathan Pye, is with a packet of sweets. And Scott Colliver is called Hopes and Dreams. So we currently have 31 there at the moment, and we'd like to get some more. So if anyone needs me to go through it again, then I can do. I can do it because to help people out. Daniel Coy's David Shear has given out another membership, and it's gone to Daniel Coy's. It's gone to Daniel Coy's. So Daniel Coy's, and I think he's thanked him already. Let me go back up to where I was, and I'll catch up. But I'm just hoping. Thank you very much, Dave. I'm hoping that with what I've just gone through the tutorials, it makes it easier for you guys to join. But yeah, the more people that join, the better it will be. As I said, I'll be away with my grandchildren, so I won't be back till I do the watch along on Saturday. There's no link, Joris, for the third one. Right, John Michael says Fulham will get a result against Man U. Yeah. Well, Daniel, I know you had heard it before, but let's have some faith in Ange. Right, Belgian Hotspur. Right, so Joris, it's not a link, right? On the Friday shows, when the season starts, I will be doing a Friday show, and it will be called Predictions. And on the Friday show, what I tend to do is we talk about whoever Tottenham are playing that week, because we would have had the press conferences usually, and we talk about the presser, talk about what's coming up that week, and then what we do live on the show is a 4 p.m. show, so it's 4 o'clock BST. And what we do is we end up putting all the games up one by one, and we ask the people in the chat to give us their predictions, right? And then I type it in live as we're doing it onto a spreadsheet, right? And then once I've got everyone's, that's it. They've done their predictions for the week. If it's not done live on the show, then on the comments section after the show finishes, people are able to leave them there, and I will pick them up from there. There is no links for the third game. The third game was the original game that we played last year, mate. So all it is a case of watching the show on a Friday, and I'll only take the results from the shows on the Fridays. I won't be chasing people and doing it through WhatsApp groups and stuff like that. It will plainly be the live shows. Let me see what else we've got here. People all talking to each other. People all talking to each other. Steve D says, hi, Jose, and everyone in chat. Good afternoon to you, Steve D. I hope you and your family are well, sir. Ben Kaufman says, I've deliberately made my team crap. Expected to lose. It's here to come last. Expected to lose. I've played with a couple of teams called Expected to Lose in leagues that I've played. That's the team name that we had, Expected to Lose. So I've heard it before. I've heard it before. Steve D says, all too complicated for me. Not played a football game since Sabutio. Steve D, I've just gone through it, and it's easy, so easy. Even look, just on the spud says, Steve D sounds complicated. You can use assist to pick your team and then just run with it for the season. Yeah, it is easy enough. Expected to lose will finish last. Jose, tell your wife I'm honoured to call her Quebec. I will tell her. I will tell her. How many dogs do I have? I have 2 German Shepherds, brother and a sister. They're 8 years old, and their names are Kira and Kaiba, and they are absolutely superb. They love me so much, it's beyond belief. I swear, Jose, they were German Shepherds. Could be wrong. They are. They're 2 big German Shepherds. They're probably about, I'm going to say roughly around 45 kilos each. At least to 45 kilos each. They're huge dogs, and they come in every morning and they jump on my bed to come and wake me up, and they jump on me and they pounce on me on the paws, and sometimes they pounce and their paws are on my throat and I can't breathe. So imagine having 90 kilos worth of paws on you in the morning. but they are superb. They love me so much, it's beyond belief. So yeah, I'll never go without dogs. I love dogs, and dogs, the canine variety, has been part of my life ever since I was a kid. Um, so I'm now going to have a look at X while we're here. You know, you guys know I don't like X, but I'm just going to see what the latest is on anyone saying anything at all. Who we got? Tot Spurs. Hello, Dazza. How are you, sir? I hope you're well, Dazza. Dazza, you just missed it, mate. I've got two. Dazza, right. Okay. Dazza, just for you, mate. I'm just going to say to you, it's nice to see you, mate. It's nice to see you. Right. In my last two posts on the community section, right, of the page, I've got Predict the League. So I've got one for LTEL, because I know you did one last year that I was with you, but you can join LTEL's one because you know how to do it. So on the second before last, it's there, and also I'm running a fantasy Premier League predictions league, not predictions, fantasy Premier League, but they're both on my community page, Daz. So if you go to my community page, you'll see both of them there, and you'll be able to enter them both. I will still be doing this one as well, Daz. Daz. I'm going to do this one as well. So the one that we do on a Friday that we used to do, where people call out their stuff, but the Friday one will be live, right, on the show. If not, the comments section after the show's finished. I'm not chasing people in WhatsApp groups and stuff anymore. It's too much work to do. So there's 3 competitions, Daz, that I'm doing next year. 2 that are on my community pages, which is one is Predict the Football, the other one's Fantasy, and then the one that I do on a Friday will still be being done, right? Rakdos Madness says, good morning, Jose. I signed up to Fantasy League and I will sign up to the other one later today. Always great to catch your streams in the morning. Thank you very much, Alan. I hope you and your family are well. I know it's really early for you, so the kids must be getting ready for school. You must be getting ready for work, sir. And I wish you a really good day. And yeah, so the news is, just looking at it now. Excuse me, people. What's this one say? Richarlison. How about Richarlison? Let's see it. Right. Richarlison is going to be chased for his signature with fellow countryman Gabriel Jesus. Both players have not been leaving, are not keen on leaving the Premier League for the Saudi Pro League in the past and quickly ruling it out. Tottenham are apparently open to the idea of recouping the initial 60 million investment as long as they can get some figure back or close to it. Earlier in the window, Richarlison himself mocked the links and labelled them false news. But more recently, rumours say he is now softening to the idea of leaving for Saudi. But that's yet to be seen. Spurs are keen to sign a striker and have upped their intensity for Cherry striker Dominic Solanke, which might put a big influence on Richie's future. Look, with that post, all I'm going to say is, all I'm going to say is that I'd like Tottenham to have 2 strikers, so you have competition with each other. And at the moment, unless we knew that we would guarantee that Tottenham would spend the money on another striker, and that's not guaranteed. Who else we got here? Who's this? Okay, so it's now saying Romano says that there's a verbal agreement for Dani Olmo to Barcelona. Okay, that's interesting because that means that Nico Williams ain't going to Barcelona if they're taking Dani Olmo's. Nico Williams is still not going there, and Nico Williams came back to training yesterday with Atletico Bilbao, and he made his intro video yesterday was that he's happy to be back at the club. It says, just in, Tottenham Hotspur have stepped up the interest and are pushing to sign striker Dominic Solanke, who could cost 65 million as other suitors deterred by the price. A potential deal could see Richarlison leave the club with a number of suitors circling, including sides in Saudi Arabia. And that's coming from Simon Jones via the Mail Sport. I do not trust the Mail Sport. I mean, as I said, it all depends on who's coming out with these comments. But caught offside are saying Tottenham are eyeing a move for Crystal Palace defender Joachim Andersen as Ange Postecoglou looks to bolster his backline. Spurs conceded the third most goals, and this is in the Premier League top 7 last season was 61. This is coming from caught offside, who I'm not going to say are a tier 1 journo as well. All eyes on Spurs, right? Saying Spurs are fine with paying 60 million for Solanke, as they reckon they'll get a deal for either Neto or Eze down to 45 or 50 million. However, the club need to decide between Eze or Neto. So Spurs fans, Eze or Neto? Yeah, this is people that are clickbaiting, aren't they? Fabrizio Romano, what's this? Fabrizio Romano, I expect Tottenham to be busy, definitely, because for Emerson Royale, there are conversations ongoing with Milan. I think this deal will be done quite soon. They still need some final steps, but the agreement is close to around 15 million plus 15 million euros plus add-ons. Tottenham started from 20 million, so there is a big gap between the two clubs, and the player wants to go to Milan. He has already agreed on personal terms at the end of May. Emerson Royal is basically waiting for the two clubs to agree to travel and complete his medical. And I don't think there's much. There really isn't much more to talk about there. So let me just catch up with this because I'm aware that Mr. Kaufman is going to start a show soon, and he might want some people over there. Excuse me. Jose. Hi, Jose. All the chat. Reigning champion is awaiting all the challenges for Prediction League. Go on, Daz. I like your fighting spirit, son. German Shepherds molt a lot, though, in it, mate. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They do molt a lot. Mark Cooks. Sorry, I've missed you. Mark says, great show, Jose. Got to go. Big up all the chat. Yes, Mark. Thank you very much for being here. It's been a pleasure, as usual, to have you on the show. Let me see what does. God, well stingy with the like button today, you people. I tell you, Dave. Dave. I'm getting a Jack Russell when I finish travelling after having to lose Dudley, a brilliant English staffy, after 14 years, 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I was fully aware of that. I'm aware, and I spoke to David about this because dogs are a man's best friend quite comfortably and quite easily, and they're so loyal. And to have a friend and a companion for 14 years is a long, long time. And I hope that, yeah, when you finish traveling, I hope that you find your next friend and that he is a loyal friend to you, David, which I have no doubts because dogs are. Yep, Jose, I joined the Prediction League Fantasy League. Too much hassle. It's not too much hassle. Ben says, catch you later, Jose. It's coffee time. So I'm presuming that Ben's going live now on his chill stream. Daniel Coys, big up, David. Never easy having to say goodbye to them, their family members, mate. My uncle and auntie were in bits when their dogs passed away. It's true. It's true. I know how dogs pass. I've had them pass, and it's sad times. Let Richie go. Always injured and not good. It's the worst Brazilian number 9 I've ever seen. David Clark says, my dog is a cross, Lhasa Apso and Yorkshire Terrier, and is 8 years old. Mine are 8 years old as well, David. Mine are 8 years old as well. Daniel says, what makes it funny is Olmo was from Barca Academy. They're paying to re-sign who they should have probably not let go in the first place. Sometimes these things happen. Barcelona don't often get it wrong now, do they, Daniel? So, Daniel goes, what makes it fun? Oh, yes, that's that one. So, but you said again, Jose, the Anderson rumor is BS. Palace are about to sell Guehi to Newcastle. Why are they going to sell their other centre back? Do you know what, Daniel? I think everything's BS at the moment because I've just read out who's said what and where the stories are coming from. I don't believe in it all. and none of them. I'm just letting people know where stories are coming from and who they're coming from at the moment. So to put some context in who's saying what. But what I will say about Guehi is, where are Newcastle getting 70 million for Guehi? Who have Newcastle sold, or what deals have they done in order to go for 70 million for Guehi? I'm just wondering. I mean, I don't know, and I'm not a financial accountant. I'm not a financial expert, not to that degree anyway. And I'm just like, okay, they're going interim. Where's the money come from? So, um, David says, you obviously know nothing about the Palace owner. He will not drop his asking price for Eze. Ryan G's here. Good afternoon, Ryan. I hope you are well, sir. I hope you are well. And people saying hello. Ryan's saying, my border collie he's 10 years old and I love him. There we go. Dogs are a man's best friend, as we keep saying. Um, David said, when I was 6, I got a corgi before my first day at school. He was Dudley too. Have all your dogs been called Dudley then, David? Do you know what? It kind of, I'm only asking because it makes sense. You call the dog the same name, then you're never going to forget your dog's name, are you? Some people have had so many dogs in their lives. Turn around and say, do you remember X? Do you remember Y? Blah, blah, blah. But with you, it could be Dudley Corgi, Dudley Staffy, because you've got the same name. FFP is a myth. I'm not talking about FFP, Dan. I'm just talking about, in general, where are Newcastle getting their money from? They sold Mintail, whatever his name, for 5 million to Brighton. Yeah, true. I forgot about that. They did sell him. That was when there was horse trading was going on before the 30th of January. Rob is good afternoon, Rob, sir. Says we had a couple of boarders. They are so intelligent. God, we've got a lot of people in common who've got love dogs as well. Look at that. Had them or German Shepherds most of my life, Rob. Brilliant dogs and so clever. Daniel says, Jose, they sold Anderson to Forest for 30 plus million and sold Minte to Brighton as well for just over 20 million. Did Anderson go to Forest? Okay. Car. That's definitely some horse trading that's gone in there. Love your dogs on your Facebook pic, Jose. Yeah, I love my dogs as well, Ryan. I really do. And just the harmless percent says Newcastle sold Elliot Anderson to Forest for 41.2 million. Yakubu Minte to Brighton for 35 million. They made a profit of 20 million in the transfer window so far. That's probably where they've got the money from, then, mate. That's probably where they've got the money from. Lost a corgi 3 years, run over, Jose. I swore my next dog would be called Dudley. John Michael says, had a dog. He was a stray when living in Cyprus. Brought him back to the UK. Passed away at 18 years old. Marley, miss you, buddy. Yeah, God bless Marley, mate. Like I said, dogs are absolutely brilliant. Yeah, dogs are absolutely brilliant. You know, there's nothing. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't function without my dogs. My dogs are the ones. They're my alarm. They wake me up in the morning. They're my protectors. They protect the house. In the evening, the last people I say goodnight to, the dogs as well. So they come, they sit down. I mean, they do things not knowing their own strength and how big they are, and you know, you just got to love them for it. And yeah, you know, they just sit there waiting for you to talk, waiting for you to say something. It's absolutely brilliant. Just Hums says that's all in the euros. Why the numbers are slightly higher than Daniel's? Oh, that's all in euros. Okay. Ryan G says, I'm going to join your leagues in a minute, Jose. Just making a drink. What drink you making, Ryan? Hot cuppa or one of them alcoholic beverages? What are you doing? What drink you making? Daniel says, how the hell did Newcastle get over 75 million from Minte and Anderson? That needs to be looked at. Daniel, if you remember rightly, I said this a while ago when when the Euros were on, the transfers weren't coming in at the time. And I said at the time that Paratici got done for accountancy, bookkeeping, or whatever at Juve, and he got done, and he's been. Excuse me, I don't know why I've got this itchy cough. He got found guilty and got given 3-year banning order or whatever, and he's come back, you know, in the guise of a consultant and stuff like that, but can't do the full job that he wants to do or that his job description allows him to do. And I just turned around and said at the time, when you're looking at Everton, Forest, Newcastle, Villa, Chelsea, they just did it in plain sight. They just horse traded amongst each other before the 30th of June, and they just did it in plain sight. They bought and sold players in plain sight, and they're allowed to do it. The Premier League then turned around and said something about it, and then the horse trading stopped. But of course, the horse trading is going to stop because the horse trading needed to be done by the 30th of June. And these people are clever and they've got around it. And now that they've got around it, you know, some people have got away with it. So, yeah, so some people have got away with it. And, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, these people did it in plain sight in my eyes. So, yeah. John Michael says, I've got a catch. He's an evil bitch. David Shears says, smash the likes. Jose's generous with his time. No, it's not about being generous. You know me, David, because me and you speak off air and we call each other up and that. It's not about being generous. It's about having, and I've maintained this from day one. And you've been with me, not from day one, but not, you know, a few months after. But I made it very clear that I'm about growing, but growing organically. And to grow with a community, I'd rather have a community with me, and that's what I want to build is a community. I want the right people here who want to be here for the right reasons, who are prepared to talk openly to each other. And you know, even if you don't agree on opinions, you respect each other, and that's what we're growing. So for you guys, you're the ones that are doing it. So you are the ones that deserve all the respect. It's not me giving and being generous in my time. You guys are being generous for listening to me. So, Peter Kagayas has just gifted 5 memberships. Peter, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. John Michael was gifted one, who's currently in the chat at the moment. The Big Red Machine, Fiona, Stoke on Trent Spurs fan Coys, and Ange Ball. Ange Ball was in the. I don't know whether Ange Ball is a daytimer or a night timer, but Ange Ball was in the show yesterday that we did at 3 o'clock. But I've not seen Ange Ball comment today. So at the moment, you've got John Michaels here. So John Michael, you have just been gifted a membership from Peter Kagaya. So it'd be go a long way if you say thank you to Peter for doing that to you, sir. And thank you very much, Peter, as well. You guys have been absolutely on fire today, and I thank you very much for that. I'm truly blessed. I've got the right people in, you know, I've got the right people in the right community, and that's what I wanted to grow. I wanted to grow the right people and the right community. Brighton, Forest, and Newcastle all working together to cheat FFP. That's what I said. But Villa did that, and so did Chelsea. Got to remember, Villa, Chelsea's deals with each other did it as well. You got people saying big up to each other. Peter K. Kagaya says, he's saying to Peter, hit me up on Facebook, same picture for anyone on here. So David Shear says the picture that he's got here is the one he has on Facebook. If you want to look him up, he's got the same name on Facebook. And guys, if any of you want to, right, I want to join and want to come into the WhatsApp group that I've got for Airtel Cockerel because you guys are part of the community. I'm more than happy to add you, but I would need a phone number. And the easiest way to get a phone number to me would be either message me on Facebook Messenger, right? Or you can message me on X. I don't use X for anything other than to promote the show. But if you private message me on X as well, and it's Airtel Cockerel, then and give me your phone number. I'm quite happy to add you guys because you guys are part of the community. I'm quite happy to add you guys into the chat, into our WhatsApp group. So please, if you want to do that, then you're more than welcome to do so. David Shear has just gifted 5 memberships. David, you're mad. You're already. You've gone mad. These 5 that David has given have gone out to Jay Ashraf, Rumanshu Mukherjee, Spurs Truth TV, Dave Holston, and Jason S. So thank you very much, David Shear. It's too kind. My pleasure, mate, says Peter. Had to tie with Peter, my brother. Peter's just given out. Peter's just given out another 5 as well. Guys, what is going on? You lot are immense. This has gone out to Mark CFC, Tekken, Tony Bones THFC, Marcus, and Spurs fan John. Yeah, God, this is just mad. This is unbelievably mad. Yeah, this is just absolutely mad. Absolute madness. Won't have anyone else to give. It's my pleasure. Peter, thank you very much. And like I said, some of you guys that we haven't got in the WhatsApp group, I'll repeat again, if you were to message me privately on Facebook, so I know who you are. If you private message me on either Facebook or on X, then and as long as I get your numbers and I know who you are and you're part of the community, I'm quite happy to add you to the WhatsApp group. Mark CFC has come in and says not been on for ages. I hope you're well, Mark, by the way. I hope you're well. Says not been on in ages, but just got gifted a membership. So thanks to whoever gave me that. Mark CFC, your membership was gifted to you by Peter Kagaias. Peter Kagaias has gifted you. Sorry, but my laptop is right. David Shear has gifted out another membership. You guys are so generous. Big up yourselves, says John Michael. Tigara says bloody Aussies. Sheesh. Sheesh to us. I know what it means to you, but to us, it's quite funny because sheesh to me would mean the Greek or the Turkish food, the sheesh. It's quite interesting. David has gifted another one, and it's gone to Hanno. Hanno. So Hanno is another Chelsea supporter who comes into the shows. Has been gifted one. Hanno, welcome. Hope you ain't a gooner. No, Hanno's Chelsea. Chelsea supporter. And thank you to Mark saying thank you, Peter. I'm good, just busy with work. Hope you're good. Yeah, I hope you're well, mate. Mark, I hope you're really, really good. And yeah, I hope you're really, really good. Jose is getting over on. I am. It's just it's just absolute madness. Peter saying we come from a land of thunder. You better run. You better take cover. John Michael says sheesh kebab. Yeah, just the Harvard Potato says sheesh as well. See, we can all have fun. We can all have fun. It's not all serious. We can all have fun here as well. It's a good channel to have fun with, and you can be yourselves. You're not being forced, and to do anything you don't want to do, and to believe in X, Y, and Z. You are all about yourselves. So, and he's turned around, and what's he said? David Shear's carrying on the song, and he says, "Where women work and men plunder." Okay, fair enough. And there we go. Just harmless potato. You've all got where women glow and men plunder. You've all got the same sense of humour, which is absolutely, absolutely brilliant. Peter Gagaias has just gifted another membership out, another one, and this one has gone to Neil. Neil, who's on the show yesterday, who came into the chat and was on the show yesterday afternoon. It's difficult because what you've got is you've got different people that come in at different time zones. So obviously we've done one today at 12:30, which is what it's 2.5 hours earlier than the one that I did yesterday. Yesterday's went on for a couple of hours, and in the end, you had certain people who were on yesterday, and you've got certain people who are on today. But for those that are just coming in and whatever, I am running 2 competitions that can both be found on the community section of Eltel Cockerel, right? Let me see if I've got it here. I'm going to bring up my community section so people can see it, and then you can decide what you want to do and whether you want to join it. Right, we go to the word community. All right, there we go. So I can share it. So, peeps, if you want to join, the easiest way to do it is go on to Airtel Cockerel. And if you go to Airtel Cockerel, this one here that I'm opening up is the Fantasy Premier League. It has the link for the Premier League. And then underneath it, where I am now, you've got the new Online Predictions League, which has got the link and also the code to enter. They're the last two postings that I've put on the channel. So if any of you are interested, then please come over and join. I won't be able to plug this too much because I will be away with my grandchildren for the next 4 days. So yeah, if you want to join, this is where to come. Go to these two and you'll be able to join the fantasy. Yeah. And I don't know what's going on, and I don't know what's in the coffee, whether it's in Australia or North America. But Tigaro has just given out another membership. So they're coming through again. And this membership has gone to Bill Bez. We have Suvlaki, mate. This is a big up Tigaro registry. And Alan in North America has just come in with 10 memberships. I don't know who the 10 have gone to. My things got stuck. I can see Chris Agenbar's got one. But I can't see who else has got one. Guys, this needs, yeah, I don't know what to say to you guys. This is just absolute madness. Here we go. We've got David Shit has just handed out another 5, but I don't know who I don't know what's happened. I think you've broken YouTube because I can't see who's getting them now. When Alan gave out 10, I saw one go to Chris Agenbar. I haven't got a clue where the rest have gone. I don't even know where the rest have gone to anyone. No, we're not all members because I've got loads and loads of people that are subbers. But yeah, YouTube are not telling me who else has got them. For people that may or may not have them, it's whether you want to switch your accounts on to allow for gifts, and if you do that, you end up getting gifted. I'm sure that if people aren't getting the gifts, then you guys will get your money back. I just can't see. I don't know whether it's my laptop that's broken down, but at the end of the day, I can't see more than it'll probably catch up on itself. But at the moment, I can only see Chris Agenbar has received one from Alan. Yeah, when I do you're quite right. It's just yeah, YouTube algorithm just went down. Can't cope with all these gifted memberships. You'll only have members at this rate. Quite possibly. Quite possibly. Just trying to see if it catches up with itself. What's going on? That's what I've asked. Ryan says probably can't gift the other 9 because everyone has a membership now. Alan says we're all members now. Daniel says you have broken YouTube, and David here says Jose, what a membership show coming up. Yeah, I'll do a membership show. I was planning to do one, but I would do one possibly because I've got to get the timings right. Yeah, I've got to get the timings right, but I am going to do a member show. But yeah, my God, you can only bring on a certain amount of members. Cool. If the amount of members we've got now, I ain't got a clue how many people we're going to bring on. This is absolutely mental. I'm having to count back on the memberships here, right? There's 1, 6, 11, 16, 17, 22, 27, 32, 33, 34, 35, 45, 50. 50 memberships in one show. 50 memberships in one show. It's absolutely crazy. It's just madness. It's madness. 50 memberships in one show. Rob Belcher says Jose has 579 subs and 579 members. Rightly so. Yeah, people might have to switch their. It will either catch up with itself, or if people switch on that they're allowed to have memberships. It hasn't got everyone. I know it hasn't got everyone, so it must be something with YouTube, because I know of people that have memberships on other shows that are subscribers here that haven't got the membership. So yeah, I think it might be something that needs to just catch up with yourself. I'll keep an eye on it for definite. Uh, Tigaro says, I can ski. No, you can't ski. Yes, he can ski. We can all ski and gift ski. You know what? You had me going there. I thought you was going to talk food, right? I thought you was talking foods. I'm looking at foods, and then I've realised what you've said, and I was reading it all as foods, Tigaro. 24 likes for the show is brilliant. Is that what we've got? 24 likes? Yee, I see 23. That's fine. That's not a problem at all. Um, Bloody hell, Daniel. Even Dudley got one, Jose. Yay! Fair play to all the people that gifted. Yeah, they've been very, very generous. I deserve it, is what Alan says. Do I? If you think so, then I'll take it. I'll take it from what you say. Just Simon says 14 gifts are missing. I don't think you get charged. If they're not gifted, you don't get charged. So you just get your money back. But the idea is there. If they don't if they don't come through, then the idea was there. And I thank you very much. You're too kind, and you just get your money back. Um, David, we've effed up his computer, and I don't know. It's not my computer. I'm keep looking over to my laptop to see, because I can't see here on my iMac who gets them. So I have to keep transferring over to my laptop, and I'm transferring. I couldn't see anyone there. Um, Awesome, and we give it gladly, supporting Jose. Thank you very much, David. You are too kind. Um, 9 from Rectus. Yeah, I'm aware of the ones that I saw missing, um, and I will check it, and I'll get back to you. But I'm sure, for Alan and for David, if the memberships haven't gone out to people, you will get your money back. But the thought's there, so thank you very much. Hi, Peter. We need to catch up, my friend. Um, Says, yes, David, for sure. Daniel says, you deserve it, Jose, mate. Don't even question it. Well, it's very kind of you guys. Very kind of you. Saigaro with a super chat. Here's a couple of bucks for you, Jose. Have a good day, mate. We appreciate you and your hustle. That is very kind of you as well. And yeah, I'm overwhelmed. And I'm overwhelmed. Um, Alan says, hopefully it queues for others instead of a refund. Regardless, you lot are too kind. If it's a refund, it doesn't bother me at all. Honestly, you've been too kind. And Dave Shear says, I have Jose's mug on my magic mug. Sheesh. I've got one of them as well, where you put the hot water in and my face appears, and so does Colin's. The talk and ball mugs. I have one as well. When Colin came over to visit in May, he bought one for me, and he gave it to me at Ellie's house. And yeah, it's really interesting, because I saw it. You see it first of all when Colin was putting it up. I shop. I've got a shop, and this is what I sell and stuff. And then all of a sudden, he poured a cuppa and showed what it does. David, you sent me a photograph or a video, if I remember rightly. No, you sent me photographs of before and after adding hot water to it. So I'd seen it from you, I'd seen it from Colin, and when he came over and gave me one, and then I actually did it myself, I was able to see what it does in the flesh. So that was brilliant. Um, and Ryan G says, gonna join the league now. Jose, thank you very much for joining. Right, I'm gonna have to wrap up the show, because I'm gonna have to get ready to start making some prawn linguine for the family. Um, but thank you very much to those that have watched. I'm just going to start with that for now. Thank you very much to those who have watched. If people are watching this on playback, then please consider joining the competitions that we're running on LTEL. They are free of charge. And then also please consider joining the predictions league that we'll be running on a Friday. And what I will say is thank you very much for all the people who joined today and your contributions, which without your contributions, we don't do these shows at all. If people are watching on playback and this is just in case. This is just in case. If people are watching this on playback and you would like to be gifted a membership, if that's the case, what's happened that they run out of people that can be members. If you want to be gifted a membership, then switch it on to you're able to receive a membership. And if you do that, then one of these memberships that these people have given out, or some of these memberships these people have given out, can go out to you. If not, they get refunded, which is not a problem at all. But as a thank you, and this is the weird one because I've got to go down in order now. Right, and I'm now going to go down in order. So keep up with me if you can, please. Right, so David gifted 1, then 5, then 5, then Tigaro 5, David another 1, Peter Gagaias 5, David 5, Peter Kagaias 5, David 1, Peter 1, Tigaro 1, Rakdos 10, David Shear 5, and Tigaro with a super chat as well. Gentlemen, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very, very much. It means a lot to me to have the community that we have here on Eltel Cockerel. You are all great people, and I wish you all a very good day. To the people that have got a remainder of the day, the people that are starting their day out, have a great day. And for the people that's your early evening time now, or late evening, should I say, your late evening in Australia and that, and early morning, I wish you a good night. Have a good sleep. Rest up. Take care of yourselves, and go again tomorrow. And above all, I wish you all good health to each and every one of you. So thank you very much for being here, and I will catch up with you all. So the next show I'm doing for definite is on Saturday because I'm away with the grandchildren. So I'm hoping to do the watch along on Saturday for the Bayern game. Unfortunately, it's not down to me, but the kickoff is 5:30 BST, which I don't know whether you Aussies are going to be up for it, or whether you can play catch up in the morning when you wake up Sunday morning. But thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Take care of yourselves, and I will speak to you all soon. And it's come on, you Spurs, and in Ange, I trust.